The art studio is getting so close to being complete, but there's a few more projects I want to do to add even more color and happiness to this room. In just one day, we're aiming to complete 4 art projects using only one medium. Can we do it? Let's find out. But first, we need to prep. I've never used a hot glue gun before. Both of these plant pots are getting a makeover from an idea I saw Art with Ashley Monet do.
Look of a candlestick holder that's been used. I created one set for my studio, and I made hot glue drips on it and painted them gold.
Wait, did you just see that? The plant pots come apart? No way, it actually just came off. Look at it. I mean, it looks a bit weird inside, but it came off. So when we did a makeover of these little plant pots, you're saying the top could have just come off instead of taping the entire thing with kitchen roll? Let's try with number 2. Yeah, we're just losing parts of the plant, right? Like, this is not happening. Okay, that's fine. We're just gonna have to accept it. I guess maybe they come apart 50-50. Okay, so this is the tiny little mini hot glue gun I got. I haven't used one of these since like primary school, so I don't know what to expect. It looks like it's working. Okay, now Ashley just added little drips. Honestly, it's such a cool idea, but I don't know how she did it so well. Like, this is a struggle. And yes, this is the mini one. I got it on offer. It was actually free. Didn't realize it would be this small and take this long to get glue out. And that's it. Turns out one stick pushes the other. So technically we used both of the sticks. There were 2 sticks. Didn't know how much we needed. They're all gone. Oh, look at these prints just out. We gotta go to the shop. Well, this is all a learning curve. I didn't know you needed 2, at least for one to push the other in. But looking at this, they don't seem to have any regular glue sticks. Like, you'd think there'd be something. Look how much is here. But all they have is glitter and iridescent, so we're gonna have to go for it. Okay, back to it. Can you see a kind of odd choice that was made? You see how the plant pot has a groove? I didn't factor this in. In Ashley's video, it didn't have a groove, so she could just add the drips and then make a little bit of an edge at the top. We already have a groove in the plastic. I should have just used that, but I didn't. I went up. So now we are adding a slight border to the top and bottom of it and hoping when it's painted that will kind of fix it. Well, lesson learned. We're not gonna touch the top part of the second one. Got a little bit on my hand though. This one is looking much better than whatever this is. And what is today's medium of choice? It's these acrylic markers by Ohuhu, who are kindly sponsoring today's video. Ohuhu make a ton of different art supplies, but their alcohol markers and acrylic markers are kind of next level, so I think they're going to be perfect for these projects. These are the Hanuma Ohuhu acrylic markers, and there are 36 in this set. But here's the exciting part. These are the first refillable acrylic paint markers by Ohuhu. Oh, look at this color. Is this not the perfect combo? Oh, another one. It's kind of coral. That's so pretty. A little pastel purple, a pastel blue, and almost like a Barbie pink. Are these not the most perfect colors for the art studio? Well, before we get started, we need to do swatches. This is essential for any art supply you get because you need to know what colors inside. A lot of greens in this set and actually a surprising number of orange leaning colors. Those ones are so unique. You don't really get orange colors that often. The first project is this big plant pot. We're going to paint it all one colour and then add wavy checkerboard on top to match that wall. I think it's going to look so cool being like just in front of it. We'll pick a nice colour and fill the entire thing below the drips with that. I think that's a great place to start. Look at all that exciting stuff. I'm thinking we want to use the colour we have the most of because then we can fill it up later and see how that works. It kind of needs to be pink, right? The base for our checkerboard. Oh, honestly, that one there is pretty close to the wall though. Would that look cool? Would that be weird? It's not like a perfect match, but it's pretty close. You know what? I think we have to. Let's do this as the base. Right? Like that's too close to not. And it's only going to be there, so it might look really cool. Of course, the little 10K play button is here as well. If you haven't seen this video, I popped it down below. Pop this off again. Just going to remove all of these little stringy parts. That was my fault. All right, it's not coming off as easy as I was hoping it would. Oh my, look how much is there. I'm going to take a before photo because this is looking bad right now. It might make a good transition, right? R39. Oh, I wonder if it actually looks the same from the swatches. Maybe a little bit more pink leaning on here, I would say. That's why the ones where you can see what's inside are also cool because like that is so much darker than that. It looks silly because I realized there's already a groove there, so we didn't actually need that top one that I started to fill in for no reason. We're gonna leave the entire top part for later and just do the bottom underneath the drips, if you can call it that. Let's see how it goes, eh? How opaque are these markers? That's the test. Because apparently they work well on pretty much every surface. Oh my, that's crazy. Like straight on black. Of course we'll see how it dries, but already that's looking pretty good. I think we might struggle a little bit here though because the bullet can't really get in the gap, but we'll try our best. Even though it's the same colour, I'm thinking we should do a darker colour for this checkerboard. This is the base, maybe like a dark blue, purple. I have a feeling this might take a little while. This pink is really coming together now. It's such a beautiful colour. And that's the thing I really love about acrylic markers is they come in such unique shades. I think that's why I never really reached for acrylic tubes very often. Because if you want these kind of colours, most of the time you need to mix them yourself. That means you need a pot of water and a paintbrush, a cloth, a palette. There's so many extra things. And I think that's why a lot of us reach for acrylic markers nowadays because they are just so handy. And if you're goal is to create art as often as you can. We all live busy lives, and if you can do whatever is easiest for you to create art as often as you can, then really that should be a priority. Normally for these projects I do add gesso, but apparently these acrylic markers are supposed to be good for pretty much every single surface, so of course I want to put that to the test today. This is plastic, we have wood, we have glass. Coming up, it's gonna need one more layer. What colours shall we choose? We want one for the checkerboard and one for on top here, the paint splodges. Oh, that one there is lovely. What should we do? I do think like a purple could look good. This almost lavender but slightly more blue leaning colour is very pretty. Where could that go though? Like on the checkerboard, or would it go maybe on top? Maybe we do a dark colour for the rest of it. What if we do dark purple for the checkerboard and the lighter one on top? These three colours. But first we should paint the second layer.
My life, swear it don't mind. Say that you'll stay holding me close, swear it's alright. Yeah. Baby, I feel the rush. Everything that you touch turns to gold. I know. Baby, I'm missing you. Everything that you do makes me love you.
And look at this already. The pot's coming together. It's so crazy because it's a really similar pattern to what's on the wall. It's a fun pattern too. If you haven't tried it before, it's basically like creating a grid, but the lines are wonky and then you fill in the alternate color. That is the entire situation we got going on. There is a 50-50 chance that by the time we looped round, there'd be an odd number of squares. Luckily, that didn't happen. But we're now reaching for a paintbrush because we need to get in these little grooves. With some practice and a bit more skill, I probably could have done a better job with the hot glue gun, which would have made it a little bit smoother, and then it probably would have worked fine with the markers. But no, we're using a paintbrush to get in all of these little nooks and crannies because I did such a strange job with that. As long as you don't look too close, it's fine. And there are leaves on top anyway. Okay, what's project number 2? It's this easel. It is wood, but it's already been painted blue, which means I think this is going to be the perfect surface to use the acrylic markers straight on. Let's just pop this back on here so we can visualize it a bit better. It needs a little bit of a wipe to begin with. It's a bit dirty. But looking at this lovely blue shade, do you know what I actually thought of? I thought of Frozen. You know how in the entire movie there's like these beautiful icons the whole way through, kind of like diamonds, and also the color palette is kind of gorgeous. I'm not sure if we have the right colors. I think it's like purple and blue leaning, isn't it? We need to have a look. Like this, these are the patterns on Elsa's door, and I think there are so many more all around the castle. Although, you know what, I'm loving everything on the door there. Like this is the entire interior. Do you see how the patterns are just everywhere? It's so pretty, and that's what I want to try and recreate on this easel. We're gonna wing it. Elsa's door. What do we think? Is this gonna work? Like, there is a middle section and we do have the two edges, but how's about we grab a pencil and a ruler and just mark out the distance between certain areas? I'm not too fussed about actually doing the sketch. We've got a lot to get through today. 4 entire projects in one day. But just a little dot here and there to make sure that each section is relatively even, I think is gonna pull this piece together. It doesn't matter if it's wonky or if it's not been done very well, considering how much time we have, but I think the spacing is gonna be a big help here. And the colors are pretty similar to the reference, right? Elsa's door has little dots, well, circles all the way down in the sides. There's a really big pattern in the middle, but the edges are quite simple. So for the bars across, I'm also going to do that same exact pattern. It looks almost like an arrow, but the middle part here is gonna be difficult. It's kind of like a snowflake. That's the 2 purples done. What color should we move on to next? I think possibly it's like a dark blue. I think that might be the closest match. But of course we are starting on a baby blue easel, so it's automatically gonna look a little bit more blue than the door. So maybe adding a little bit more purple might look a bit better instead. We have a reference. It is heavily inspired by Frozen, but it doesn't need to be exact. If we were trying to make it exact and mix all these colors ourselves and then put it on blue and it might look different anyway, that would probably take a lot of the fun out of it. Whereas this way of creating is freeing. We are adapting the piece, adding colors that are a little bit more pink and purple because that suits the art studio, makes it all cohesive. And for me personally, I know if I think about these things a little bit too much, I'm just gonna put myself off the idea entirely. I like to start a project, work quite quickly, and ideally finish it the same day. Everyone's different. It's all about knowing how you work and catering the art you create to that. We don't have the exact color. Maybe instead we use a light blue to match the easel and a pink to match the walls. Oh, we are almost there. The longest project by far. It's taken like 2 hours, but it's looking so cool and I can't wait to varnish it and show you everything at the end. Oh, and if you're enjoying this video, why don't you give it a like? Subscribe if you haven't already. Maybe set the bell icon to all, otherwise you might not see the videos. Oh, it's getting dark already. We've painted on plastic, we painted on wood. Next up is glass, if I can find it. I think it's in here, possibly. If it isn't, I haven't got a single other idea. Oh, I got it. This is what I have in mind next for a very specific idea. It's slightly pink. I don't know if you can actually tell. I don't know what's gonna go in it. How's about we lean into it being a sweet jar? Add some little stripes all the way down, alternating, so half are clear and half are coloured. That's the idea I have, but I think we need to look for a reference. Well, it's definitely the right kind of sweet jar, that's for sure. Okay, I don't know what I'm picturing, but I just thought stripes might look really cool on this. White, beige, rose, or we go dark. I think maybe light will lean into it. Maybe 62? Yeah, let's give that a try. I don't know if this is gonna work at all. I've still got the brush out as well. I think we're gonna need this for going in the cracks. Gonna give this a little bit of a wipe to clean it. Glass is a bit of an odd material though. I feel a bit weird sanding it. So I think we're gonna leave it as is, especially because half are gonna be see-through anyway. Oh, maybe like a dark color for the top or a red or something. I think if we leave it like that, then I've got something to hold on to. You can slightly tell that this is pink, right? I don't want to go too close to the bumps because I feel like it would look weird if we go on the edge. Maybe we should try it. It's a bit weird, but that is easier. It does go over slightly, but that is so much easier if we just do that. Go in the crease like that. That'd be faster than using a paintbrush every time. Now the other option is alternating colours. That could look cool. So we add a colour in. Oh, what about like a blue? Maybe like a baby blue. Maybe that one? That is so much easier doing it that way. I know it goes over slightly, but like look at the time save. Plus, if we have to do a second layer, that will make it a lot easier, a lot faster. At the end of the day, art should be fun. So why make it harder for yourself? You know, you gotta do what is easy and enjoyable. Oh no, we are literally flying. Where are we going? Maybe we could do like a circle around the rim or something just to cover up that. Okay, let's go back to blue over here. And I'm gonna do this one here whilst we've got the blue, because then we can do 2 at a time. No. Obviously we're gonna have to seal this later on though. And just gonna colour this all in. Oh. The only glass I painted on was gesso. That was the coat glass. We need to go juicy enough to go in the cracks, but not too juicy that that will happen. But hopefully when we do the second layer, there'll be something to grip to, so maybe it won't spill as much. At the moment, it's like a really shiny surface, so it's just flying. Maybe the red will make it look a bit more like a sweet shop. Oh no, it happened. What are we gonna do? I don't know what to do. What do we do? If we make it red, that will be weird, won't it? What do we do? Is that the only option? Because if we make it beige or blue, that will just look weird. I don't know, this is the only thing I can think of. If we do either of the others, it will look like there's a mistake though. Oh no. Wipe this off and then I think we might have to come back to it because this is crazy. Oh, it's gone all the way around. I guess a lot of this actually is gonna be red, isn't it? Maybe that'll be fine then. Because the markers are kind of matte, it should stick better, right? Hopefully. Maybe we'll add a red strip to the bottom as well. I thought the easel project was proving to be difficult, but this is something else. Unfortunately, when it comes to 3D projects like this, you have to fight gravity, and you fail, so it makes a whole mess. But I think we're just about saving this. Doesn't look anything like I had in mind, but it's kind of cute in its own little odd way. I'm not quite sure it matches anything in the studio. That red is very bright. We're gonna have to see it on the shelf. Oh, a new rear page video to keep us company. As we move on to the final project that you might remember from the beginning, this tiny little plant pot. Let's just pick off all those weird little pieces. And the same pink. The aim isn't to make bright, flashy, colourful pieces using every colour in the world. We're decorating items we already have to make it fit in the space we have. We're going for colour, but kind of subtle. And hopefully seeing these chaotic ideas might give you some too. Why don't you paint the things you already own to make it better fit in the space you have? If you paint the walls and buy new furniture, why not keep the decorations you already have and change them up to fit the new space? Just a thought. I think this is gonna need another coat. So it's time to see how to refill this. Okay, to refill the ink, turn the pen barrel upside down, unscrew the end cap, insert the bottle. This is pretty empty now, so we're ready to go. Oh, I'm kind of scared this is gonna go everywhere. I knew it. I knew there'd be something. I definitely did something. I think we're about halfway. That's where we're at. I think I'm going to leave it up to there so it has a little bit of room. That seems smart. It looks full, so I'm pretty sure that's all ready to go. Ah, yeah, that worked. The refillable part is really cool, especially for a colour like this, because this is a super unique colour. And of course, when it comes to markers, it is more like an ink because of how juicy it is. I will say I am generally a brush pen kind of gal. These are so much more opaque, the ones where you have to push down, that it's kind of worth it because it's hard to get a brush tip that's this opaque. Now for this pot, I've been debating with flowers or polka dots. Considering the sun is setting, polka dots would be easier. It would probably look cute as well. I mean, we still have to do the drips. And that took quite a while last time. It's crazy. The marker's working like brand new now. And what did it take? Like 1 minute to fill up? Just do the little bit underneath here. Put this on top maybe. And we'll just leave that to dry. As for the colours, should we go for something a little bit different? We still want it to match. It needs to look cohesive. I really like this mint green. I think I might try and go for that. Pink is opposite green. We could try. Pink background, yellow polka dots, and green drips. Oh no, that looks kind of cute, doesn't it? That looks kind of nice together.
Tell me everything. You know I'm listening.
This is how much is left in the bottle. You can see there's still loads left. And I think it's a really cool idea. The markers worked well, they're juicy, they have replacement nibs. So once again, I stand with Ohuhu being the best brand for acrylic markers. If you want to get some yourself, why don't you use my coupon code? And you can check out these in the link in the description. There's also a ton of different colours to choose for the refillable bottles. These are just the ones that Ohuhu picked out they thought I might like and absolutely nailed it. You get a lot of paint in these bottles, they're gonna last a long while. So we can do even more crazy little projects. There are more plant pots. Let me know if you want to see any more. And of course I want to give a huge thank you to my Patreon supporters, specifically all of you sketchbook buddies. Thank you. It's kind of reminding me of something. Maybe Mario? Gonna pop that to one side, let it dry. I'm absolutely covered. We need to varnish every single piece we've made just to lock in that paint so it doesn't budge. I kind of love how each piece is different from each other, but they're also kind of cohesive. Matches the art studio, kind of matches all of the stuff that's already in the studio. And if you want to see how all of this came to be, the art studio makeover has just gone up. I'll leave it below. I am tired, it's been a long day. If you've made it this far, comment below a little frog emoji in honor of the green hands. Another big thank you to Ohuhu for sponsoring today's video. First up, we made a cute little checkerboard plant pot to match the wall, decorated the easel in a Frozen inspired style, before painting in a cute little sweet shop kind of style, and painting a plant pot kind of reminiscent of Mario. This space is a lot more colourful now, so why don't you grab some markers and decorate too? And I'll meet you back here on Thursday. Bye bye.